Senator Eric Schmitt. Senator Schmitt, welcome, sir. Just one more on this. I don't know if you heard any of this last discussion, but we're talking about the President Trump's authentic backing of a religious revival in this country. He had his day of prayer this week. He put out a phenomenal, I don't know if you had a chance to read it or not, proclamation, National Day of Prayer, devotion to God, blessings from God. I mean, this is something that I think is going to help this country enormously after kind of a long day's night of the past 4 years. What you thinking, sir?
I agree. I agree with that, Larry. I was listening to the panel's discussion, and I actually think COVID, for all the terrible things that it brought, police tape around playgrounds and boarded up basketball hoops, crystallized a lot of things, and it exposed the people who never should have had power in the first place and what their real intentions were, which was to divert from what we know to be true, which is faith and what work means and community, to something where government has all this power and it can affect your ability to speak your mind or to travel. And you have to genuflect at the altar of wokeness through climate alarmism. I mean, it really is a substitute religion what the left has pushed. COVID sort of put an exclamation point on it, a bright light on it. And I think young people, it's one of the reasons why they're flocking to the Republican Party, because it actually stands for something. It doesn't move around every, 2 months to some new issue or new outrage or new constitutional crisis or whatever they want to call it each day. It actually stands for something that's enduring. And God, of course, sits right in the middle of that and what our purpose is in life and the things that we should be caring about the most. I
mean, we're going to celebrate the Declaration of Independence in the middle of this year. Was it next year? Next year, the 250th anniversary, which is basically the Declaration of Independence. And they made it pretty clear that the pecking order, if you will, is God, and then people, individuals, and then government is third. Government reports to us. We don't report to government. Now, that's a founding principle of this country. I think Mr. Trump is bringing that back as well.
That's right. And one of the reasons why the left tries to sever all the ties, all those important anchors like, the family, the church, community, all those sorts of things, is because if you're then sort of wandering around, government then can provide those answers for you. And as we know, government can't love you. That's what our families and our God is for. But it's important, and I think an opportunity to celebrate again the genius of the founding, because what they said, which no one had ever said in the history of the world, because everybody believed the rights came from kings and queens and the sovereigns that were, sort of in place in Europe, and we were all subjects. They said that everybody in history had it wrong, that our rights come from God, our right to speak our mind, our right to defend ourselves. They come from God, and government's role is to protect those rights, not to infringe upon those rights. That was a revolutionary concept. We fought a war over it, of course, and now here we are 250 years later, still having these important debates.
Last minute, Senator Schmitt, go to the secular for a minute. The stock market is roaring, okay? The last 9 days, setting records. We're even ahead of Liberation Day, if you could believe that, if such a thing is possible.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. And I think, the handwriting is on the wall. We are going to cut taxes. We are going to cut spending. We are going to deregulate. We're going to produce more energy. And, yes, we're going to have fair trade. I mean, I think the handwriting is on the wall. And I think that's one of the messages of the stock market. I don't know whether you're an investor or not, but that's my theory.
Yep, and I think you mentioned there's a four-legged stool in my view is we have to make those tax cuts permanent. I think we'll do that. We have to have regulatory reform to unleash all the power of private industry that wants to make those investments in this country, unleash energy and be energy dominant again, and then have a balanced trade policy. I think those things are coming into place. We had a briefing this week from Jameson Greer, the progress of those negotiations. You've got the China bucket, you got everybody else. I think the everybody else bucket, you're going to start seeing some trade deals. They're going to reduce those barriers, allow our products and our commodities to get more into those markets where we've been denied, a more fair system that never adjusted after the Cold War. And now that time is coming because we have a president for the first time in a generation that's willing to stand up and fight for working people. And that's what we needed all along.
Yes, sir. Senator Eric Schmitt, as always, thank you for your wisdom. Really appreciate it very, very much. Take care.
Anytime.